I think now that the season's officially over, the bubble was a huge success. I think we need to look back and kind of just recap. It's kind of crazy how it seems so long ago,
Yeah,
like when those exhibition games were happening, right?
yeah. The 8-0
That
Suns.
Yeah, the 8-0 Suns. Like even before that, when they had those like preseason, pre-bubble
Oh
games, that
yeah,
just seems like so long ago. But I mean, remember right when we recorded our first episode of the podcast, it was in such doubt whether or not this was even going to happen. I was like 50-50. I was even like maybe like 40-60 on it, whether or not it was going to happen.
yeah,
We were saying, is this championship going to be an asterisk championship? This doesn't.
yeah.
I don't know about you, but this does not feel like
No,
an asterisk championship at all. I don't know how you
not
could
at all.
watch that and say there's an asterisk on this championship.
Yeah,
But I mean, we got some crazy performances. We had a lot of guys. We already did a winners and losers episode of the bubble, but that was before the playoffs started, so that was a long time ago.
yeah,
Um, I think we could probably just talk a little bit about some of the guys who raised their stocks in the bubble. We don't need to be negative and talk about Pascal Siakam or anything,
yeah.
but
So like everyone on the Suns, like
yeah,
Cam Johnson
yeah,
became, he's not a household name, I don't want to say that,
no,
but he's a NBA fanatics like household name. Like if you're a real NBA fan, you know who Cam Johnson is now. We didn't know him before this
yeah,
bubble, or we didn't
yeah,
rate him before this bubble, and he's established himself as a starter. He's gonna start like for the rest of his
hundred
career.
percent,
He'll start.
100%.
He's probably a top 15 power forward with how good he played and how good he rebounded and shot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Mikal Bridges definitely raised his stock value and probably the starting three now, which is kind of worrying for Kelly Oubre. Devin Booker, I think we expect him to be in like MVP conversations next year rather than
I
just
think he
being
should be. Yeah,
just an all-star.
yeah,
And that team also has the biggest bust potential too, because if they don't make the playoffs, big
which is a
changes
very
must
real
happen.
possibility.
Yeah, very real possibility with the Warriors returning.
Yeah,
So, like, that's kind of scary for them, but hopefully
yeah,
they live up to the risk and all the hype and pressure that's on them now.
yeah.
And obviously, every single Laker, because they won a championship,
Obviously,
like Anthony Davis' stock, he went from top seven player to maybe arguing for top five. Uh, who else? LeBron's stock obviously went up. He's getting closer and closer to
mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan.
Rondo stock went up. KCP,
Yeah, Rondo's going to be in the league for another 2 years at least.
yeah, yeah.
Dwight Howard's going to be in the league for another year. JaVale McGee's going to be in the league for another year. J.R. Smith, I don't know about you, but
I don't know about JR. Yeah.
yeah. Carmelo stock too. We forgot to mention
Oh
him.
my, yeah, yeah.
He's guaranteed in the league next year.
Oh yeah,
Before the
100%.
before the
Yeah,
bubble, I don't know about that.
yeah.
That
No,
could have been his farewell tour. Yeah,
yeah, you're right. And this is kind of an obvious one. But Damian Lillard kind
yeah,
of went from a guy who we all knew was unbelievable and like a all NBA type guard, but
yeah,
now it's like, is he a top 8, 7 player in the league? Maybe can
yeah.
he win an MVP? Uh, and
I,
some of the most clutch performances we've seen in a long time in the at least in the pre-playoffs in like the seeding games and stuff like that,
yeah.
which kind of
Before,
felt more important than normal regular season games when they were going
yeah,
on.
before I had Curry like a miles ahead of everyone in the point guard list,
Yeah.
and then I had Dame as a close, like a distant second, and now it's like Dame has entered the Curry
Mm-hmm.
range. He's obviously not better than Curry, but he's in the range where if someone said he's better than Curry and listed out a couple of reasons, you would actually listen to them rather than just be like, no chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's still not better than Curry, but he's entering that range, and it's gonna be interesting because he is 30 years old, so he needs to get some of those rings behind him, but he's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna ring chase. So this Portland team, if it has another disappointing season, they might blow it up too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll get into that when we do our off-season
Yeah.
predictions and stuff like that. And I think uh, there's 4 young guys who really kind of went to another level from the bubble. Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah.
Luka Doncic, obviously, Jamal Murray, obviously,
Yeah.
and Jason Tatum. I think went to another level too. I
Yeah.
think I think we look at Jason Tatum as, like we kind of said before, the second best player in the East if you don't
Hmm.
count KD,
Yeah.
which
Ooh,
is
I don't know
insane
about
to
anymore.
say.
I think Jimmy took that
Mm,
spot back from him, and he kind of slipped down to 3 or 4 if we
okay,
count
but
KD.
we look at Jason Tatum as a guy who can lead a team, maybe not
The
to a
championship.
championship just yet, but at
Yeah,
least the finals right now. But it wouldn't be out of the question for a championship. Jamal
yeah,
Murray looks like he can be the second best player beside Nikola Jokic. If he can play 90% of what he did in the playoffs, then he 100% can do that. Luka Doncic, if there was any doubts about him and if he was actually going to be the type of player who was winning in the playoffs, I think those doubts have all gone away from what we
yeah.
saw against the Clippers, even though they lost the series. Who did I miss? Is that it?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Seems like a long time ago, but went toe to toe with Jamal Murray. Almost ended the Nuggets, who went
yeah.
on to be in the conference finals.
Finals.
Donovan Mitchell is now the clear. I mean, there was kind of a is it who's more important to the team, Gobert or Mitchell? Who do you
It's
keep? Whatever.
obvious
It's
now.
clearly Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Uh, and he's only going to get better next year, I think.
yeah.
But I do think that front office needs to make some important.
Changes.
They
Because
they need to make some changes and build
yeah,
a team that fits better around him
they
because
also getting
he's a special
Bogdanovich
player. We've
back,
seen that. Yeah,
a
yeah,
20-point scorer.
yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen to the Stretch the Floor podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram.